Have you ever heard of pain dots in handwriting? Well, it's part of the whole field of health in handwriting. And there's a lot of interesting books on health in handwriting, which means that you can look at handwriting and determine health. And while this was part of a field of kind of like not so scientific 30 years ago, now all doctors agree that Parkinson's can be spotted in handwriting before any other test. In fact, there's a new test using AI technology that uses either voice or handwriting that can spot Parkinson months and months before other traditional tests. So we know that handwriting holds clues to the body, to the psychology, and maybe the health. But what probably people didn't know is that there's very specific health indicators that sometimes show up in handwriting. They're just almost spooky. So the last 20 years, we've been teaching in a company called Handwriting University, which is a school that teaches the psychology of handwriting. And we've had guest speakers talk about health in handwriting, and it's a fascinating topic. In fact, the last monthly class we had in our members class, we looked at some old books and old presentations from back in 2007, and it's still right on the money. There's this concept called pain dots, which means if you look really closely, there's random dots in your handwriting or someone with an injury in certain parts of their handwriting. So on the screen, I'll show you, this is like a letter F or upper zone, lower zone. These pain dots appear in the upper zone. It means the person has an injury on their head or their neck. If it's in the middle, it's an issue with their intestinal, their abdomen. And if it's down near their feet or ankles, it means they might have a twisted ankle. Now, I know this sounds weird, and I didn't believe it for a very long time, but it's been true more often than not. And I haven't said there's any scientific certainty about this. I can tell you that you may not know this about me, but I actually fell off of a boat when I was 6 years old, and I almost died. I was in the hospital. They shaved my head. It came back curly. My hair did. And it wasn't for a brilliant doctor in Dallas, Texas, I wouldn't be alive. So I had like a brain bleed, and so I've got a really large scar on the left side of my head, and it shows up in the top of my L's in a small quiver on the left side of my L. And I was like, this is crazy. Okay, well, I know there's one of one. Maybe that's true. And so if you look at handwriting and pain dots, you'll be really surprised. If you've had a torn shoulder, knee injury, ankle injury, you'll see dots at the appropriate part of that piece of that upper lower zone. The letter F is the most common because it has upper and lower zone, but the top of the H would be like head and shoulders. The G's and Y's would be the lower part of legs. I can't say it's 100% accurate every time, but a lot of people forget they had injuries as a kid. But I will tell you, it's fascinating, and it's so accurate when it hits. It's amazing. So look at your own eye dots. Look at the chart on the screen. Do you have pain dots in certain areas? And do they correlate with an actual injury? I'd love to do some research, so leave your comments below. Are pain dots real, or is this just a fiction of someone's imagination that wrote a book on health and handwriting 20 years ago? My name is Bart Baggett. This is Handwriting University's official channel. If you're interested in psychology and personality, in NLP and why people tick, this is the right channel for you. We have live classes every month in the Handwriting University membership program. You can upload your handwriting. You can get feedback from professional handwriting analysts. Maybe learn something about yourself you didn't know before. Hit like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.